Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by leaving a comment, by leaving 2 comments, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. And as always, watch out for the robots pretending to be me in the comment section because they're all over the place. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak has reportedly reiterated his positive stance on Bitcoin. Despite not being a Bitcoin investor himself, a vocal proponent of Bitcoin who once called it the only digital gold, Wozniak reportedly referred to Bitcoin as a miracle of technology and a unique mathematical formula at Talentland Digital 2021, a major virtual event in Latin America devoted to technology and innovation. According to on Thursday, a report by local news agency El Sol de Mexico, the Apple co-founder has also indicated that Bitcoin is better than gold, implying that it's easier to mine Bitcoin blocks than finding and extracting gold from the earth. He said, "Gold is limited and you have to look for it. Bitcoin is the most amazing mathematical miracle. I do not invest in Bitcoin, but I believe it's here to stay." The news is, for those of you who didn't catch on, one of the co-founders of Apple basically has been heaping praises on top of Bitcoin. This made very popular news of the day because it's all over the place. Anytime that anyone worth more than $1 million says anything positive about Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency space, it's going to make headlines. But when you got the person who basically co-founded Apple, Bitcoin's amazing, everyone kind of fell over themselves to make sure that this was the most popular news story ever created. I'm exaggerating, but a lot of people are taking this to heart by basically saying, if you created Apple and you're calling Bitcoin amazing, well, therefore, Bitcoin has to be amazing. I mean, we know that Bitcoin's amazing, but I don't think that we necessarily needed Steve Wozniak to be able to tell us that. And also, he has claimed through many of the years that he is not an investor directly in Bitcoin. So, anyway, that's the Apple co-founder, the most amazing mathematical miracle, bars of gold with a Bitcoin balloon floating above it news. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, Allied Payment Network, a provider of online and mobile digital payment services to community financial institutions, has announced that they are partnering with New York DIG. I think that's New York Department of International Gaming. No, that's not right. It has something to do with crypto. A leading Bitcoin technology and financial services company. The collaboration enables financial institutions to offer their customers the ability to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin. Allied touts to be the first bill provider in the industry to embed this service in its platform and offer it to financial institutions. Sure, why not? They said Allied's primary focus is to make it easier for financial institutions to provide value-based technology that differentiates them in the marketplace, attracts new depositors, retains through high engagement, and generates revenue. A business. Providing access to Bitcoin does just that and is a game changer for many community institutions that are struggling to compete. This was said by their CEO. So the news is, and also it's somewhere around here. There we go. Along with this partnership, Allied announced it will make an allocation to Bitcoin for its corporate treasury. So the news is that Allied Payment is now working with New York DIG. They're going to be offering Bitcoin to their customers or to people who buy stuff through them, and also going to be holding Bitcoin themselves every single day. Same kind of news over and over. We also had news about a day or two ago about the supply crunch that's coming. We've been first of all, there's definitely these people who are moving the market back and forth, they know exactly what they're doing, but it's quite ridiculous. Once again, it is impossible for every person on the planet to have an entire Bitcoin. It is impossible for every single millionaire on the planet to have an entire Bitcoin. And the supply crunch is going to be very swift and very brutal for a lot of people. But alas, as time moves on, we continue hearing about these companies who are, I can only assume, probably buying at least $500,000 worth of Bitcoin, which is, what was it, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Bitcoin at the time of me making this video. So that's definitely more Bitcoin off the table for the institutions. Yeah. That's another big company is partnering with New York Dig to be able to offer Bitcoin services, and they're also buying Bitcoin for themselves. Once again, just an assumption. They may not be putting 30 million bajillion dollars into the market, but they're probably buying at least $500,000 worth of Bitcoin. Anyway, that's that news. That's that news. And let's move on. Next up, breaking. This news is everywhere. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Why is this news so popular? News. Circle, a Goldman Sachs-backed fintech company focused on stablecoins, has officially announced on Thursday that they are going public. Under the terms of the agreement, a new Irish holding company will acquire both Concord and Circle and become a publicly traded company that is expected to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker Circle. That is CRCL, is missing some vowels, but we kind of get it. Upon completion of the transaction, existing Circle shareholders will hold around 86% of the public entity. Wow. The company said it will go public through a merger with blank check company Concord Acquisition Corporation in a deal valued at $4.5 billion US. Investors have additionally committed $415 million in private investment and public equity financing, which combined with cash and trust in Circle's newly closed financial convertible notes will provide the firm with over $1.1 billion in gross proceeds. Every company in the cryptocurrency space is trying to go public. All of them. Not some of them. Anything that's crypto related, especially if they're relatively big or well known, they're trying to go public. 2, we have been having, is that a tense? I remember in high school, the teacher, I almost said the guy, the teacher was like, I would have had been. I don't remember. It was a weird class. He was trying to teach us all these tenses in English, and I was like, I don't need any of that to speak to people. The point is, we had news previously before in the past about Tether. A lot of negative news in the last couple of weeks, and assumption. Whenever we get negative news about something, it's usually because somebody else is doing something in the cryptocurrency space that would benefit them. You know, there are thousands of other coins, and we never hear the negativity about other coins, but we'll hear how amazing Ethereum is when a company is planning on doing something with Ethereum as opposed to Bitcoin. We'll hear about how amazing and wonderful Bitcoin is when a company is planning on acquiring Bitcoin as opposed to Ethereum. So I thought the last Tether news that we had the last couple of weeks was also quite interesting, and I guess it ties into this as well. Does Circle need to go public? Probably not. I know that there are people who actually love to trade stable coins. That is also a thing because, you know, those 0.5% or like 0.1% fluctuations, I mean, they really rev some motors. So anyway, this is very popular. Here's the actual press release right here. Good luck. I don't really know what else to say about this except for that I don't think that a stablecoin company needs to go public. But I'm just assuming I'm missing something, especially when you have billions of dollars in whatchamajaggers in funding for something. So cool. Go get them, Tiger. Hope it works out for you and the fiat currencies that you're going to be based off of. Moving on. Next up, in wow news, Bitcoin is helping increase the profitability of one of the oldest hydropower stations probably on the planet. Let's be completely honest. The Mechanicville plant, as reported by the Times Union, after decades of court fights, unused antique machinery, and plenty of restorations, the plant is now back at total capacity and is using part of that to mine Bitcoin. They said, "We think this is the oldest renewable energy facility in the world." Yeah, that's still running. All right. This was said by the CEO, which owns the Mechanicville plant. We can actually, he said, we can actually make more money with Bitcoin than selling the electricity to National Grid. I'm shocked. I totally did not see that coming. Albany Engineering got involved with the plant after the National Grid asked the company to refurbish and operate the facilities in 1986. which were founded on an antique structure. Sorry, anyway. The two corporations then signed a contract in which the National Grid would lease the station to Albany and buy the power for 40 years below market price because, of course, why not? Here's the news. Yeah, here we go, right here. Mechanicville Hydro Plant gets new life. It's pretty. I feel like this would be a great restaurant if they ever stop mining Bitcoin. It looks like a great space to have like a really, like those like 7-course restaurants. This looks like the inside of one of them. Anyway, news I missed, like I stated before. Good for them. I hope they make tons of money. Because we've seen a lot of companies, to be completely honest, move away from their previous businesses to get, into Bitcoin mining or Bitcoin trading, because that's, we're in the future now. So that's where the money is. But I mean, sure, go for it. Whoever is the CEO of this place, he's going to have a pretty heavy pocket in the next couple of years. As anyway, you understand what I'm saying. The point is, cool. I hope all the water makes you a lot of digital money on a screen. Moving along. Next up, Square CEO Jack Dorsey has confirmed that the payments company Square is planning on building a Bitcoin hardware wallet. Square's head of product development, Jesse Dorogusker, first tweeted that the company has decided to build a hardware wallet and service to make Bitcoin custody more mainstream. Dorsey retweeted it and added, "We're doing it." Fancy. Dorsey said last month that the firm was merely considering, wink, building a Bitcoin wallet entirely in the open from software to hardware design. Every single time that any company is like, yeah, we're going to dip our toe into the pool to see if this works. No, this has been planned for a very long time. The people from Square, this is an assumption. I don't work for Square. I am not a Square, depending on how you look at me. This is all planned all the time. They bring it out to see what the actual gauged interest is going to be. Are people retweeting it? Are people talking about it? Are people saying, hey, I would totally buy one of those? This is kind of how it actually goes. So here are the tweets right there, and then him saying we're doing it, #Bitcoin. Jack Dorsey loves Bitcoin. Jack Dorsey thinks that Bitcoin is going to be the thing that brings us into the next millennia completely. Like, that's not a joke. This is what he feels about the Bitcoin space, not the cryptocurrency space, but Bitcoin. So should we be surprised that Square is doing this? No. Were they already planning on doing this probably since 2019? Yes. Are we going to hear some other news that this is probably going to be integrated with the Lightning Network and is going to allow people to... Don't forget that as well. Jack Dorsey also said that Twitter was thinking of integrating Twitter with the Lightning Network to have transactions through Twitter on Lightning and NFTs and Shiba transactions and all these other letters that are out there. So sure, good job. And it says it's somewhere around here as well that they'll be competing with Ledger and Trezor, which are the most popular wallets at this time. Could it do well? Sure, why not? Do we need another hardware wallet company floating around out there? Not really. Sure, why not? I mean, it feels like so often in the cryptocurrency space, like, not that people are copying each other, but it's like a really weird... I wonder what else could be done with things except for like everyone being like, oh, we also have smart contracts. You want a cold wallet? We have cold wallets kind of thing. Anyway, that's the Jack Dorsey Square custody Bitcoin hardware wallet news, and Jack Dorsey also smiling in a photo news. Yeah. Let's move on. And to finish things off, in a story that has a very strong twist to it, the European Union will set up a new agency to crack down on money laundering and introduce transparency rules for cryptocurrencies. A new proposal from the European Union wants crypto service providers such as exchanges to collect and make accessible the data of those making transactions. Reuters Reuters news agency. Why can't I say that? Reuters news agency. Why couldn't I say that quickly? Is that a tongue twister? Reuters news agency. No, okay, it is. I want everyone to try and say that like 5 times fast. Reported today, citing documents it had seen. Currently, transfers of digital assets are not included in the European Union rules for financial services. A lack of rules, they said, leaves holders of crypto assets exposed to money laundering and financing of, I'm not going to even say that word because that's absolute nonsense. You not having proper rules means that everyone is going to do something wrong with their money. The European Commission, the EU's executive branch, will therefore propose an anti-money laundering authority that will work with national authorities to combat crime. If you're looking for a more proximate reason, for the proposal, it's because of Danske Bank. Yeah, Denmark's biggest bank. It is currently under investigation for money laundering after 200 billion euros, 227 million billion US dollars in payments flowed through its tiny Estonian branch between 2007 and 2015. While the case is unrelated to cryptocurrencies, digital assets will nonetheless fall under the AMLA purview because the EU believes that flows of illicit money can be done through transfers of crypto assets. But you want to know what it's actually done through? The US dollar, the Mexican peso, the euro, the yen. Yeah, we keep getting news all the time that people could use cryptocurrency for illicit things. We've had, thank the goodness, I don't even really agree with a lot of these companies, but things like Chainalysis and Analytica, blah, blah, whatever, who look through the blockchain and follow these transactions. What is it? Like, I think it's 0.1% of transactions are actually used for illicit reasons. And I'm pretty sure even those illicit reasons have to do with people inhaling things and other, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I found that quite interesting. And also, that I doubt that a lot of this is going to actually end up going through because they only hurt themselves. Because understand that, once again, this is just about control and it's just about money. This has nothing, 0%, to do with protection of people, helping the citizens. It has to do with controlling the flow of money and figuring out where all these things are going. Part of their problem is that when they start making sure that they have these central bank digital currencies and all transactions under that field are really being traced back and forth, what are the banks going to do? Banks are always laundering money. That's nothing new. This happens all the time. And part of the problem is that there are, I'm not going to even get into it. The point of the issue is that banks launder hundreds of millions of billions of dollars, $227 billion. Do you understand how much that is? Think of $1,000. Think of $10,000. Think of $100,000. Think of, if I gave you $5 million, what you could do right now. Think of 10 million. Think of $100 million. Think of $500 million. We're not even halfway there. Think of $1 billion. You could live off the rest of your life easily with $1 billion. Now imagine 10 billion. 35 billion, 79 billion, 129 billion, 227 billion dollars, and all that ends up happening is they get a fine all the time. So anyway, when these things are pushed forward, I can't wait to see all the bank news, because it's going to be absolutely spectacular, the things that they're doing out in the open. Even now they're doing it out in the open and no one really seems to care. And the other part is a lot of this rule and the things that they're trying to do are seemingly only targeting a centralized cryptocurrency exchanges. Boy, howdy, how interesting the future is going to be, because everything is basically moving over to a DEX right now. So I find news like this so fascinating, because it's like, you keep saying that it's for our benefit when we know that it's not. You all keep doing absolutely terrible things with our finances, our money, negative interest rates. You're constantly laundering money. You say that you have a problem entering a country with more than $10,000 in your pocket. $10,000. Now imagine a bank laundering $200 billion and someone going, should we make new rules? It seems like I don't like the idea, but I'm invested in that bank, so maybe give it 5 years? It's terrible. Why do you think people are moving to cryptocurrencies? Because the old system is garbage. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is indeed absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.